guys, welcome to day number 3 of the Tarot 365 project. Before we get started, quick little PSA. As most of you know, I really enjoy camping and being in nature, and I did a music festival and a wellness festival this year that I'm involved with. And I am super sensitive to poison ivy, and I thought for sure that I got away, let me back up here, that I got away scot-free with no poison ivy this year, and let me tell you, I was wrong. And it is now, it's like every single day, it's 3 weeks later, and every single day I've got more on my arm, or my knee, or my inner thighs showing up, which the inner thighs is annoying is because as I walk, it rubs and then it gets itchy. So if you have tips on poison ivy and what to do about poison ivy and how to just like help it not drive you crazy while it's going through your system, I would greatly appreciate that. I've never had it show up like this before. Usually it shows up in like lines from the leaves, and this time it's like, I don't know if I sat in a whole bush, but it is like, it's freaking everywhere. So you can see I'm like scratching my knee right now. I need to not do that. So if you have tips, I would greatly appreciate them. Thank you so much. Today we are on day number 3. So yesterday we had day number 2, which was the Sun of Swords. And then last night I also did a birthday spread, which is 12 cards plus another 3, so 15 cards total. That's about, you know, the year ahead and then the year previously in a summary, and that was a lot of fun. So those will be up soon. Definitely check out, well, the one from yesterday will be up already. So check the links below and you can see what the Sun of Swords had to say for us yesterday. And then let's see what we have to learn about today. So let's just do a big shuffle here again. The question I'm asking is, what does my higher self need me to know today, or want me to know today? Okay, and it's feeling like, actually no, I think I'm just rushing the process. It's not feeling like that was the right card. So we're gonna keep going until that one comes out. Wands. It's funny how my ego starts to rush me and I was getting a little impatient. I was about to take a card and then it, literally the next shuffle, a card pops out on me. So thank you. This is the 5 of Wands. So that's our card for day number 3. I will be back a little bit later today to give you a quick rundown, but to read the write-up. Is that 5 of Wands? Yeah. Here's our write-up. And it says, the 5 of Wands is a card of conflict. Uh-oh, dun dun dun. You may find yourself scattered, distracted, tending to everything and nothing. Since wands deal with our dreams and goals, it usually means this conflict resides within. Your energy moves outward in many directions, yet you are suffering inside. Take this card as a warning. Find ways to bring calm and focus to your mind, or these troubles will only increase. So that is an interesting comment, because I've been getting 2 action cards. I had 2 action cards that were all about focus and determination and just like doing the damn thing. And now I get a card about being too internally scattered and needing to bring calm and focus to my life. So I think that's still pretty on point. I will share with you guys after I've had some time to reflect. I will be back to share more thoughts with you. And as always, if you have tips on poison ivy, not as always, as I asked earlier, please, if you have tips on poison ivy and how to stop the itch, I will love you so much. Please share them. Thank you guys. I'll see you soon. Bye. Hey guys, we are back with the 5 of Wands to talk today about this really interesting card. So we pulled this on the 22nd, had some time to reflect, and do a little bit of research, and now we're back to talk about it. So one of the things that I've learned as we've been going through, this is card number 3. Sorry, I should remember that. This is card number 3 that we've done. And as I'm kind of learning and going through this whole process, I'm learning that it really is more of an art than a science, because I mean, there's some cards that have pretty clear-cut meanings, but there's other cards, this being one as an example, that not only have a variety of different meanings in and of themselves, but also depending on the deck. This deck, obviously, there's no color on it. This is the first card in the wand suit that has no color. Whereas in the Rider-Waite deck, it is a colorful card, and the way that it's designed in the Rider-Waite deck is made to look like a very external struggle. Like, you can tell this is a card of conflict. This is struggle, right? Like, this is not a happy, super excited card. There's lots going on. Nothing's working well together. You can kind of just see it by looking at it. But the Rider-Waite, so this makes you think maybe potentially more internal, and the write-up in the book actually even says that it's a more of an internal struggle, internal conflict. Whereas the Rider-Waite deck looks more like an external struggle, because there's a lot of people all brandishing wands. So not only is there differences in the symbolism in the cards themselves and within each card, but also from deck to deck. So it is really important, I'm learning, to take that moment to reflect based on listening to your intuition. What is the deck telling you? What is your intuition telling you? And so what's cool about this is that as we're going through it, I'm having the opportunity to kind of get a handle on and learn, what does this card actually mean? What are the things that it could be? What is my intuition potentially telling me? And now next time they come up, because we're doing this for 365 days, there's only 78 cards in a deck. So we are going to see a lot of duplicates. We are going to see themes come up. We are going to see the same card come up more than once. And the next time it comes up, we're going to have a much better understanding of how to intuitively, just very quickly, handle that card and what to do with it. But for right now, what we did is do a little research, and a good example of that is that a lot of websites, and I'll put the links down below of the websites that I looked at, but a lot of websites do recommend that you look at, you pull another card whenever this card comes up, so that you can get a little bit more context to the situation. I didn't know that at the time, so we didn't do that. So we are going strictly on intuition here. So let's talk a little bit about this card itself. So we've got a 5. 5s are typically a struggle number in the tarot deck. So they're usually, you've had cards 1 through 4 because it's a progression, right, of 1 to 10. So cards 1 through 4 are going to be cards that are talking about growth and expansion and new ideas, the ace, starting of an idea, all the way up to number 4. And then number 5 is where you're having your first real struggle in the idea. And that's interesting to see how that has progressed. This is the 3rd card that we've pulled, but the first 2 were very action oriented and pushing towards action. And now we see a card that talks about struggle, and not any type of struggle, but the wands are the suit of passion specifically. So previously we saw the pentacles, which are the suit of material gain. So that could be wealth, it could be physical, it could be health, body. Then we see the swords, which deal with the logical mental realm, so ideas. And then we see the wands, which are the suit of passion. So yes, the heart, but the heart not in the sense of love, but in the sense of passion, which are 2 different things, whereas cups would be emotion, which would be the heart in the sense of love. So it's interesting that we have seen the material card come up as the father, then the sun come up as the logical, and then now we're at this progression where the passion is the wands. So if we look at that as a progression, we're kind of seeing that in my world in particular, maybe there is a certainty and a mastery in the material world and determined focus in the logical mental realm. But when we get to what my passion is, man, we have no freaking clue. And I cannot tell you how accurate that is. Not just how I was feeling on the 22nd, but how I've been feeling really for the last few months is just kind of this like struggling to get clarity. And like, there's just, I know I have lots of options, but when you're talking about passion and purpose, that's a really scary thing to talk about. And I've actually listened to a James Wedmore podcast recently that talks about finding your niche. And actually the quote, and I'm gonna butcher it, but the quote that he said was something to the effect of, if you're trying to find your purpose or you're trying to find your passion, and I'm paraphrasing here, you are holding yourself back from starting messy. So this could be a reminder that, hey, it doesn't need to be the perfect passion. It doesn't need to be the perfect purpose right now. It's just time to get started. It's just time to get started, and it's time to just try things, and your purpose, you'll find it along the way. And that maybe the struggle to find my purpose and my passion is actually holding me back from actually finding it, ironically, right? Because as you know, it's hard to move a parked car. So if I just start moving in the right direction, maybe eventually I'll find my passion and I'll find my purpose along the way. Other meanings that this card can have, if we really look at it, you can see that each idea, if we were to think of each wand as like a passion, let's call it a passion, you can kind of see how all the different arrows are going in different directions. None of the passions are really touching each other. So they're just kind of like strewn about. The energy is really chaotic. It's all over the place, which really kind of goes into that same theme that we were talking about. And then the other ideas, I mean, this can talk, so some action items here are some thoughts of what you can do about this. Some people say just push forward, you're at the edge of a breakthrough, just keep moving. Some people say stop and reevaluate where your energy is, because as you can see here, energy is not being wisely used. Still other people say stop, step back, reflect, maybe eliminate some passion. So again, this is one of those cards, like it's more of an art than a science, where like, I mean, and I guess it's a matter of perception. Like, are you as an individual someone who sees a scattered mess and says, oh my gosh, I can't handle this. Oh my gosh, I need to minimize. Oh my gosh, I'll just start tidying. I need to fix this up. Like, how do you handle a mess in your house? How do you handle a mess in your apartment? Right? Like, that's all personality based. And so this card is very much kind of bringing that forward as well. So in my opinion, the next steps for me on this card are to not let that stagnate me and just to not worry about it. Like, yes, things are a little chaotic right now. Yes, I don't really have a direct purpose or passion or vision, but that's okay. And don't let that hold me back. That's the vibe that I'm getting through this card is keep pushing forward, keep moving, continue with the things that you've set your mind on, which is this Tarot 365. And honestly, guys, I've had so much creative energy lately. I've had a couple Mind Food Mondays that I'm going to do some recordings for, so I'm going to backtrack those a little bit so those don't get behind again. I've just had lots of cool thoughts. I've had lots of downloads coming into me in the last little while, so I'm feeling energetically very aligned again, which is exciting, and excited to get moving and get started and share this with you. So I'm not going to take this as a sign to stop or to reevaluate. I'm going to take it as a sign to keep pushing forward, just trust that things will line up. It's a reflection that things are feeling a little scattered right now, but they will line up eventually. And I also do think, though, that this is probably a reminder that maybe I need to evaluate where I'm spending my energy, because I do have a billion things coming in and I need to be a little bit more strategic. Or if I want to action on all those billion things, then there's other areas that I need to not action on. Like maybe I need to spend less time on Netflix, as an example. So that is the Five of Wands. That is card number 3 for the Tarot 365. As always, guys, if you have any questions just for me, if you have questions you want me to do a spread on, if you have top thoughts, tips, suggestions, websites I should check out, literally anything, please drop it in the comments. I love hearing from you. And I am also doing the daily draw at the morning, because I do the draw in the morning and then I do the recording in the evening. So if you want to follow me on Instagram, I'll put that link in there and you can follow along with me in my stories as this journey progresses as well. So thank you all for being here. I am so grateful for you. I look forward to communicating and connecting with you, and I will see you all tomorrow. Mwah. Bye, guys.